After that, he just went back to Poland. When he returned to Poland, he worked at the Bishop Palace in Lidzbark and also in Olsztyn, in Wrocław, in many different places. And as a church canon, he have a lot of works. So collected rents, secured military, oversaw chapter, managed the bakery, cared for the medical needs. And all these things he did. So for astronomical work, he have only free time. So astronomy, it was some kind of hobby for Copernicus. Now I would like to explain what is the difference between the canon and priest, because during the many years people in Poland thought that Copernicus was a priest, but it's not true. It's not true. Here on the left side you see the typical suit for a priest, and on the right is a typical suit for a canonic. Canonic and priest have similar rules. So, for example, celibate, they work in a church, but only priest can listen to confession, only priest can celebrate the masses. So canonic was very close to the church, but he haven't a lot of all these possibilities like priest. Why we think that Copernicus was a priest? It was accident, because this assumption was the result of a mistake of Lino Singolfi, which just translate the letter from Copernicus, and he found that Nicolaus Copernicus canonic verminesis presbyter constitutus, which he translated as Nicolaus Copernicus, canon of Varmia, appearing as priest. But it was error, because it was not as a priest, but personaliter, which means appeared in person. They found this error during the many years later, so that's why in Poland many people still think that the Copernicus was a priest. In economy, Copernicus worked in economy when he worked as a canon, and there is a Gresham-Copernicus law. You know this law? Have you ever heard about it? The Gresham law is very well known in economy, but now in many encyclopedias they exchange this name for a Gresham-Copernicus, because Copernicus discovered the same law maybe 40 years before. But you know, it was 15th century, it was difficult to find who really discovered such law. Okay, what is this law? This law is about the money. If you have a money in a market, different kind of money, and you know that such one of this money have a better value. Wow, what does mean better value? You know that this is real money. Nobody just prepare some fake money. You believe that this money is better than other one. In the 15th century, it was really easy, because they prepare some money from some metals, so people just take some part of this money. It was different story, yeah, like that. But nowadays, this work very well. If you believe that some money is valuable than different money, how do you think which money will stay on the market? The better one or the worse one? So Copernicus showed that the better money just disappear from the market. So the best money disappear from the market because people collect this money because they believe that this money is worth of to collect. And the bad money just stay on the market. Okay? Does that make sense for you? It's work. It's really work like that. So people collect good money and bad money stay on the market. And Copernicus also proved that when we have such situation, it's very bad for poor people because the poor people become more poor. So it looks like that. And the rich people become richer. So Copernicus during his life looking for some solution because he know how it works. Okay, it was in economy. And now I would like to present some love story from Copernicus' life. So from the beginning, I would like to show you how he changed place from Lidzbark to Fromberg. Why this is important? Because it was in 1512, if I could remember, it's 1512. In the same year, his uncle died. But Copernicus just moved before because he argued with uncle. He don't want to be a bishop. And uncle still wants to push Copernicus to be a bishop. So Copernicus just leave Lidzbark and go to the Fromberg. Here is Lidzbark, and here is a Fromberg. So very close to the Baltic Sea. He as much argue with his uncle, so he did not attend on his funeral. So people think that he really argued with uncle. Okay. There is also some historical fact that a Polish king nominate 4 persons to be a bishop in such time, and one of them was Nicolaus Copernicus, but he didn't want. So they choose Fabian of Lausanne as the next bishop of Warmia. Fromberg is a city in the north, and here I presented some place where he lived and worked. In Fromberg, Copernicus really started to work in astronomy. Okay, so now I would like to explain you why I put in a title the love story. The love story which should be real because Copernicus, in Copernicus house, between 1531 and until 1539, lived woman, Anna Schilling. Anna Schilling was 25 younger than Copernicus, and he lived as a housekeeper. Every canons have housekeeper, so it was nothing special in such time. But there was something else, because Anna just married a few months before, and after that, he just left his husband and started to live with Copernicus. So people around, because it was a small city, just sent a lot of letters to bishop, do something, because Copernicus lived in some woman. Yeah? And people, many people discuss about this relation. So Bishop of Warmia, who urged him, just send letters to Copernicus, please, just say this woman to leave your house. And Copernicus just answered, okay, I will do it, but now there is a problem to find some house for her, and so on. During the many years, it was like that. Copernicus didn't afraid maybe a bishop, and people say, is that because bishop have a daughter? So Copernicus knows that, and he not afraid about the bishop. So, but anyway, at the end, this relation in 1939 was finished, and Anna Schilling just left Copernicus house. Yeah, but real love of Copernicus was astronomy. Here you see the Conversation with God by Jan Matejko, which was printed in 1872. It's a famous painting from a very famous Polish painter. And obviously, at this moment, I should to explain you what was experimental devices in such time. Maybe you expect that it was some radio telescope or telescope, and obviously you know that it wasn't be true. However, in such time, there was even the problem because Even telescope wasn't in such time. So telescope was discovered 100 years later. Generally in Netherlands, but people remember Galileo Galilei because he just improved this telescope. So what Copernicus can use in this time? He just used some protectors. Some protectors, like quadrant, like parallactic triangle, only for look some angles in a heaven. So very, very simple equipment. And also this one, which was the most complicated, but still very easy to use. Just prepare special angles and looking for some points in the sky.